Hello, students. Very good morning to all of you. Today I am going to explain Chapter 7 The Necklace from the 10th class book Footprints Without Feet. Students, I hope you are doing well and you are studying well at your home. It will help you later on. You will not have to repent later if you keep on studying side by side. And this chapter is written by Guy de Maupassant. Guy de Maupassant. Let us see about the author. Let us see about the author. Henry Ren Albert Guy de Maupassant, whose birth is on 5th August 1850 and who died on 6th July 1893. He was a French writer. He is remembered as a master of the short story form and as a representative of the naturalistic school of writers who depicted human lives and destinies and social forces in disillusioned and often pessimistic terms. He wrote some 300 short stories, 6 novels, 3 travel books, and 1 volume of verse. Let us see the brief introduction of this chapter. This story revolves around a selfish lady named Matilda. She is unsatisfied with her life as she wants a rich husband, but because she belongs to a family of clerks and her family is unable to give dowry, she is married to a clerk. One day, both the husband and wife were invited to a party at the minister's house, but Matilda doesn't have good clothes and jewels to wear at such a party. Her husband suggests her to buy a dress and asks an old friend for jewelry. She then borrows a necklace from her friend and goes to the party. What happens next proves to be a lesson for the unhappy lady. She was one of those pretty young ladies born as if through an error of destiny into a family of clerks. She had no dowry, no hopes, no means of becoming known, loved, and married by a man, either rich or distinguished. And she allowed herself to marry a petty clerk in the office, petty clerks in the office of the Board of Education. She was simple, but she was unhappy. Error means mistake. Clerk means a person employed in an office or bank to keep records, accounts, and undertake other routine administrative duties. Dowry means an amount of property or money brought by a bride to her husband on their marriage. Petty means of little importance, trivial. Matilda Loisel was a pretty young lady who was born into a middle class family who worked as clerks. Her family did not have any means to arrange dowry for her marriage. She did not have any other means by which she could befriend a rich man to be loved or married to him. So, due to these circumstances, she had to marry a clerk in the family of in the to marry a clerk in the office of the Board of Education, and because of this she was unhappy. She suffered incessantly, feeling herself born for all delicacies and luxuries. She suffered from the poverty of her apartment, the shabby walls and the worn chairs. All these things tortured and angered her. When she seated herself for dinner opposite her husband, who uncovered the tureen with a delighted air, saying, "Oh, the good pot pie! I know nothing better than that." Incessantly means without interruption, constantly, continuously. Delicacy means fitness or intricacy of texture or structure. Shabby means in poor condition through long use or lack of care. Tureen means a deep covered dish from which soup is served. Pot pie means a savory pie baked in a deep dish, typically with a top crust only. Elegant means graceful or stylish in appearance or manner. She used to think that destiny was unfair to her and she deserved much better than that what she had got. She used to get angry and was tortured by the condition of her apartment. The dirty walls and the torn furniture used to irritate her. She used to think about elegant dinners being served in marvelous dishes when her husband used to praise the homemade food served in a simple dish. She did not have fancy. She would think of elegant dinners of shining silver. She thought of the exquisite food and served in marvelous dishes. She had neither frocks nor jewels, nothing, and she loved only those things. She had a rich friend, a schoolmate at the convent, who she did not like to visit. She suffered so much when she returned. She wept for whole days from despair and disappointment. One evening, her husband returned elated, bearing in his hand a large envelope. Here, he said, here is something for you. Exquisite means extremely beautiful and delicate. Marvelous means causing great wonder. Extraordinary. Convent means a school attached to and run by a convent. Elated means make ecstatically happy. She used to think about elegant dinners being served in marvelous dishes when her husband used to praise the homemade food served in a simple dish. She did not have fancy jewels or good dresses. She had a school friend whom she did not like to meet as she was a rich lady. After meeting her, she used to cry for days together. Looking at the condition of her life, one day her husband came back home from work in a happy mood, holding an envelope in his hand. He informed her that the envelope was for her and asked her to open it. She quickly drew out a printed card on which were inscribed these words: The Minister of Public Instruction and Madam George Ramponneau asked the owner of M and Mr. and Madam Loisel's company Monday evening, January 18, at the minister's residence. M here, Mr. in French, Madam, Mrs. in French. She quickly pulled out the printed card as she was excited to know what it was about. It was an invitation from the minister. The couple had been invited to a dinner party at the house of the Minister of Public Instruction. She was supposed to be delighted as Madame Loisel expected, but and it was on the Monday evening, January 18, at the minister's residence. Instead of being delighted as her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation spitefully upon the table, murmuring, What do you suppose I want with that? But my dearie, I thought it would make you happy. You never go out, and this is an occasion and a fine one. Everybody wishes one, and it is very select. Not many are given to employees. You will see the whole official world there. She looked at him with an irritated eye and declared impatiently, What do you suppose I have to wear to such a thing as that? Delighted means feeling or showing great pleasure. Spitefully means showing or caused by malice, murmuring a low or indistinct continuous sound. She was supposed to be delighted. Mr. Loisel expected that her husband expected that she will be happy to find that invitation card, but Mrs. got really angry and threw the card while murmuring something. She asked her husband what did she want her to do with this card. He replied that he had thought that she would be happy as she never went out and this was a rare occasion to which not many employees were invited. She also told her that she would be meeting a lot of people from his office there. Matilda asked him what could she wear to such a grand party. She had not thought of that. She stammered, Why, the dress you wear When you go to the theater, it seems very pretty to me. He was silent, stupefied in dismay at the sight of his wife weeping. He stammered, "What is the matter? What is the matter?" By a violent effort, she had controlled her vexation and responded in a calm voice, wiping her moist cheeks. "Nothing, only I have no dress and consequently I cannot go to this affair." Stammered means speak with sudden involuntary pauses and a tendency to repeat the initial letters of word. Stupefied means make someone unable to think or feel properly. Dismay, concern or distress caused by something unexpected. Weeping means shedding tears. Vexation, the state of being annoyed, frustrated or worried. He stammered, as he had not thought of that. He first asked her to wear the dress that he wore when they went out for a movie. But then, as she was weeping, he asked her about the matter. She wiped her tears from the wet cheeks and replied calmly that she could not to be a part of such a grand affair and that she should give away the card. She reflected for some seconds, thinking of a sum that she could ask for without bringing it. An immediate refusal and a frightened exclamation from the economical clerk. Finally, she said in a hesitating voice, "I cannot tell exactly, but it seems to me that 400 francs ought to cover it." Francs means this is the basic monetary unit of France, Belgium, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and several other countries. She thought of an amount that would neither be refused by him nor scare the poor clerk. Then she said that she would be able to manage a dress in 400 francs. He turned a little pale, for he had saved just this sum to buy a gun that he might be able to join some hunting parties the next summer with some friends who went to shoot larks on Sunday. Nevertheless, he answered, "Very well, I will give you 400 francs, but try to have a pretty dress." The day of the ball approached, and Madame Loisel seemed sad, disturbed, and anxious. Nevertheless, her dress was nearly ready. Pale means light in color or shade, containing little color or pigment. Larks, this is a bird. Anxious means feeling or showing worry, nervousness, and unease without something with an uncertain outcome. Mr. Loisel was reluctant, as he had saved only that much money to buy a gun for himself so that he could join the hunting party next summer along with his friends. He told his wife that he would give her the money and asked her to buy a good dress. The day was approaching and Matilda was still not fine, even though her dress was almost ready. Her husband said to her one evening, "What is the matter with you? You have acted strangely for 2 or 3 days." And she responded, "I am vexed not to have a jewel, nothing to adorn myself with. I shall have such a poverty-stricken look. I would prefer not to go to this party." He replied, "You can wear some natural flowers. In this season they look very chic." She was not convinced. "No," she replied, "there is nothing more humiliating than to have a shabby air in the midst of rich women." Vexed means annoyed, frustrated, or worried. Adorn means make more beautiful or attractive. Stricken means seriously affected by an undesirable condition or unpleasant feeling. Chic means elegantly or stylishly fashionable. Shabby means in poor condition through long use or lack of care. Midst means in between. One day her husband asked her again that why had she been acting strangely for the past few days. Matilda replied that although she had the dress, She did not have any kind of jewelry or anything else to make herself look even more attractive. She said that without any jewelry she would look like a poor person in such a big party. She again said that she would rather prefer not going to party. To To this, her husband replied that she could wear some natural flowers over the dress as they looked really nice and attractive. She replied that she could not, as it looked really cheap in a party of rich people. Then her husband cried out, "How stupid we are! Go and find your friend Madame Forestier and ask her to lend you her jewels." She uttered a cry of joy. "It is true," she said. "I had not thought of that." The next day she took herself to her friend's house and related her story of distress. Madame Forestier went to her closet, took out a large jewel case, brought it, opened it, and said, "Choose, my dear." She saw at first some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, then a Venetian cross of gold and jewel of admirable workmanship. She tried the jewels before the glass, hesitated but could neither decide to take them nor leave them. Then she asked, "Have you nothing more?" "Why, yes, look yourself." Admirable means arousing or deserving respect and approval. Then her husband suggested that she could go to her friend Madame Forestier and ask her to lend some jewelry. Matilda became very happy. Again she heard the idea. She went to Madame Forestier's house the next day and said that she was stressed about the party and the jewelry. Madame Forestier went to her closet and brought out her jewel box. Madame Forestier asked her to choose for herself whatever she wanted. She first saw some bracelets, then some pearl collars, and then a Venetian cross of gold and jewels. She was not able to decide what to take and what to leave. So he asked Madame Forestier if she have anything else that she could wear. To this, Madame Forestier replied that she could herself take a look and choose something suitable. "I do not know what will please you." Suddenly she discovered in a black satin box a superb necklace of diamonds. Her hands trembled as she took it out. She placed it about her throat against her dress and was ecstatic. Then she asked in a hesitating voice, full of anxiety, "Could you lend me this, only this?" "Why, yes, certainly." Satin is a smooth, glossy fabric, usually of silk, produced by a weave in which the threads of the wrap are caught and looped by the weft only at certain intervals. You know all satin ribbon you use also. Ecstatic means feeling or expressing overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. She then saw a superb diamond necklace kept in a black satin box. She took it out with her trembling hands and wore it. She was overjoyed with the necklace as it looked very beautiful. She asked her friend if she could lend her the diamond necklace. Madame Forestier agreed to it. She fell upon the neck of her friend, embraced her with passion, then went away with her treasure. The day of the ball arrived. Miss Madame Loisel was a great success. She was the prettiest of all, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. All the men noticed her, asked her name, and wanted to be presented. She danced with enthusiasm, intoxicated with pleasure, thinking of nothing but all his admiration. This victory, so complete and sweet to her heart. Embraced means hold closely in one's arm, especially as a sign of affection. Elegant means graceful and stylish in appearance or manner. Enthusiasm means intense and eager enjoyment, interest or approval. Admiration means respect and warm approval. Matilda hugged her friend with affection and left for her house. The day of the party arrived and Madame Loisel was appreciated as she was the prettiest, most elegant and gracious of all. She was very happy and full of joy as all the men were noticing her. She was full of enthusiasm and pleasure as she was very happy with all the attention she was gaining. The couple left the party at She went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband had been half asleep in one of the little salons since midnight with three other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying themselves very much. He threw around her shoulders the modest wraps they had carried, whose poverty clashed with the elegance of the ball costumes. She wished to hurry away in order not to be noticed by the other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. Salon means a reception room in a large house. First, the short, fine, soft hair of certain animals. The couple left the party at 4 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Loisel had already slept at 12 o'clock in one of the halls with three other men whose wives were also enjoying the party. Mr. Loisel threw the wrap around Madame Loisel threw the wrap around her shoulder as they were about to leave. The elegance of the party dress was getting ruined by the wrap as it was not that pretty. She wanted to leave the party quickly because she didn't want the rich ladies who had wrapped themselves in rich furs to see her in a cheap wrap. Loisel detained her. Wait, said he. I am going to call a cab. But she would not listen and descended the steps rapidly. When they were in the street, they found no carriage and they began to seek for one. Hailing the coachman whom they saw at a distance, they walked along toward the river, hopeless and shivering. Finally, they found one of those old carriages that one sees in Paris after nightfall. Detained means keep from proceeding by holding them back or making claims on their attention. Descended means move or fall downwards. Hailing means fall or be hurled forcefully. Coachman, a driver of a horse-drawn carriage, shivering, shaking slightly and uncontrollably as a result of being cold, frightened, or excited. Nightfall means the onset of night dusk. This was because she had portrayed herself as a rich lady by wearing the new dress and the diamond necklace. Mr. Loisel asked her to wait as she was calling a cab, but she was in a hurry and quickly went down the stairs. She did not want to be noticed. As they got on the street, they were looking for a carriage which couldn't take them home, but could not find one. Then they saw a coachman at a distance and started calling him. The coachman did not stop. They kept walking towards the river and finally found a carriage, the kind one finds in Paris at dusk time. It took them as far as their door and they went wearily up to their apartment. It was all over for her. And on his part, he remembered that he would have to be at the office by 10 o'clock. She removed the wraps from her shoulders before the glass. For a final view of herself in her glory, suddenly she uttered a cry. Her necklace was not around her neck. Loisel, already half undressed, asked, What is the matter? She turned towards him excitedly. I no longer have Madame Forrester's necklace. Verily, miss, with extreme tiredness. The carriage took them to their home and they both went up. By then they were extremely tired. The enthusiasm and fun for Madame Loisel had ended by then. Mr. Loisel, who remembered that he had to reach his office by 10 in the morning As she stood in front of the mirror and removed the wrap to see herself one last time in the beautiful dress and necklace, she cried because the necklace was missing. It was not on her neck. Mr. Mr. Loisel was already half undressed by then and was almost ready to go to sleep. Then he asked her the reason for shouting. She turned towards him and said that Madame Forestier's necklace was missing. He arose in dismay. What? How is that? It is not possible. And they looked in the folds of the dress, in the folds of the cloak, in the pockets, everywhere. They could not find it. He asked, You are sure you still had it? When we left the minister's house. Cloak, a sleeveless outdoor overgarment that hangs loosely from the shoulders. Forester's necklace was missing and that it might have fallen somewhere. They searched it in the folds of the dresses, the cloak, and the pockets and could not find it. Mr. Loyal then asked her if she remembered having it on while they were leaving the minister's house. Yes, I felt it as we came out, but if you had lost it in the street, we should have heard it fall. It must be in the cab. Yes, it is possible. Did you take the number? No. And you? Did you notice what it was? No. They looked at each other, utterly cast down. Finally, Loisel dressed himself again. I am going, he said, over the track where we went on foot to see if I can find it. And he went. She remained in her evening gown, not having the force to go to bed. Cast down, sad or worried. Gown means a long, elegant dress worn on formal occasion. Mr. Loisel then asked her if she remembered having it on while they were leaving the minister's house. Madame Loisel said that she remembered having it on as she had felt it while leaving the house of the minister. Mr. Loisel said that if it would have fallen on the street, then they would have heard the sound of it falling, but they didn't hear anything, which meant that it must have fallen in the cab. To this, she replied that it could be possible that what she said was right and asked him if he noted down the number of the car. Both of them had not seen the number of the carriage. They were let down by what had just happened, and Miss Loisel dressed up him again to go and look on the tracks where they were walking. She remained at home wearing her evening gown, whereas her husband went out in search of the necklace. Towards 7 o'clock, her husband returned. He had found nothing. He went to the police and to the cab offices and put an advertisement in the newspapers offering a reward. She waited all day in a state of bewilderment before this frightful disaster. Loisel returned in the evening, his face pale. He had discovered nothing. He said, Write to your friend that you have broken the clasp of the necklace and that you will have it repaired. Bewilderment means a feeling of being perplexed and confused. Means परेशान, confused रहना. Frightful means very unpleasant, serious or shocking. Clasp means grasp tightly with one's hand. Mr. Loisel returned at around 7 in the morning and announced that he had not found anything. He also went to the police and cab offices asking about it and gave an advertisement about it in the newspaper, offering a reward for whoever returned it. Madame Loisel waited for her husband the whole day. And when he returned, he announced that he had not been able to find the necklace. Mr. Loisel told his wife to write to Madame Forestier that they had given the necklace for repairing as the hook of the necklace had broken. That will give us time, she wrote as he dictated. At the end of a week, they had lost all hope. At Loisel, older by 5 years, declared, "We must replace this jewel." In a shop of the Palais Royal, they found a chaplet of diamonds which seemed to them exactly like the one they had lost. It was valued at 40,000 francs. They could get it for 36,000. Dictated means state or order authoritatively. Chaplet, a garland or circlet for a person's head. After looking for it almost a week, they decided to buy another necklace for Madame Forestier as they were not able to find the original one. Then they started looking for a necklace similar to the one they had lost and found one in a shop at Palais Royal. The price for the necklace was 36,000 francs with a discount of 4,000 francs. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs which his father had left him. He borrowed the rest, he made ruinous promises, took money from usurers and the whole race of lenders. Then he went to get the new necklace, depositing on the merchant's counter 36,000 francs. When Madame Loisel took back the jewels to Madame Forestier's, the latter said to her in a frigid tone, "You should have returned them to me sooner, for I might have needed them." Ruinous means disastrous or destructive. Usurer means a person who lends money at unreasonably high rates of interest, means money lender. Later means denoting the second mentioned of two people or thing. Frigid means stiff or formal in behavior or style. Mr. Loisel had about 18,000 francs which are given to him by his father before his death. He borrowed the rest of the money from different money lenders. He then bought the new necklace from the shop by paying the full amount. When Madame Loisel took the necklace to her friend told her that she should have returned it earlier as she too needed it. Madame Forestier did not open the jewel box as Madame Loisel feared she would. What would she think if should perceive the substitution? What should she say? Would she take her for a robber? Madame Loisel now knew the horrible life of necessity. She did her part, however, completely heroically. It was necessary to pay this frightful debt. She would pay it. Perceive means become aware or conscious of something, come to realize or understand. Substitution, the action of replacing someone or something with another person or thing. Necessity, the state or fact of being required. Frightful, very pleasant, unpleasant, serious, or shocking. Her friend did not even open and check the necklace as Madame Loisel had expected. Madame Loisel was worried about what would happen if her friend came to know about the replacement of the necklace. She could blame her to be a thief. Madame Loisel realized how horrible life could become. She knew. And they would have to pay the loan that they had taken for the necklace at any cost. So they started to reduce their expenses and save more. They sent away the maids. They changed their lodgings. They rented some rooms in an attic. She learned the odious work of a kitchen. She washed the dishes. She washed the soiled linen, their clothes and dish clothes, which she hung on the line to dry. She took down the refuse to the street each morning and brought up the water, stopping at each landing to catch her breath. Lodgings means temporary accommodation. Odious means extremely unpleasant, repulsive. They removed the maids from her job, changed their house and rented room on the roof of a building. Now she had to learn the tiring and boring work of kitchen like washing dishes and cooking food. She would wash clothes and hang them on the line to dry. She uses to go down to the street each morning to get water. With the little money that she had, she used to dress like ordinary people and go to grocery shop and clothes like a woman of people. She went to the grocers, the butchers, and the fruiterers with her basket on her arm, shopping, haggling to the last saw of her miserable money. The husband worked evenings, putting the books of some merchants in order, and nights he often did copying at 5 sous a page. And this life lasted for 10 years. At the end of 10 years, they had restored all. Haggling means dispute or bargain persistently, especially over the cost of something. Sous means small value coin in France. She used to dress like ordinary people and go to grocery shop, the butcher shop and the fruit shop with a basket to buy the things of daily use. The husband was also in a miserable condition as he used to work extra time in the evening and often did copying work at night for a small amount of 5 sous a page. They did this for 10 years and paid back their debt within this period. Madame Loisel seemed old now. She had become a strong, hard woman, the crud woman of the poor household. Her hair badly dressed, her skirt awry, her hands red. She spoke in a loud tone and washed the floors with large pails of water. But sometimes, when her husband was at the office, she would seat herself before the window and think of that evening party of former time. Of what? Of that ball where she was so beautiful and so flattered. Crud means in a natural or raw state, not yet processed or refined. Ori means out of the normal or correct position. Pays a bucket. Flattered means lavish praise and compliments on. Now Madame Loisel had become a hard-working woman of the poor household. She had started looking old with her hair badly kept, hands red, and she used to speak in a loud voice. Many times to feel good, when her husband used to go to work, she would sit next to the window and think about the party at the minister's house. She used to feel good about how beautiful and elegant she looked that day. How would it have been if she had not lost the necklace? Who knows how singular is life and how full of changes, how small a thing will ruin or save one. One Sunday, as she was taking a walk in the Champs Elysees to get to rid herself of the cares of the week, she suddenly perceived a woman walking with a child. It was Madame Forestier, still young, still pretty, still attractive. Madame Loisel was affected. She would imagine about how her life would be if she would not have lost the necklace. She used to think about how unpredictable life could be and how a small step could change a person's life. One day she was relieving herself of the stress of the week and enjoying a walk along the Champs Elysees when she suddenly saw a lady walking with a child. The young, pretty, and attractive lady was Madame Forestier. Madame Loisel started thinking whether she should talk to her or not. Should she speak to her? Yes, certainly. And now that she had paid, she would tell her all. Why not? She approached her. Good morning, Jeannie. Her friend did not recognize her and was astonished to be so familiarly addressed by this common personage. She stammered, but madam, I do not know. You must be mistaken. No, I am Matilda Loisel. Her friend uttered a cry of astonishment. Oh, my poor Matilda, how you have changed. Astonished means greatly surprised or impressed. Amazed. Personage means a person. Madame Loisel started thinking about whether she should talk to her or not. She decided that as she had given her the necklace back and paid back all the debts, there was no reason for her not to talk to her. Madame Loisel went to her and said, "Good morning, Jeannie." Madame Forestier was confused as she could not recognize the person but thought that she was familiar because only her close friends used to call her by that name. She told her that she might have got the wrong person and that she might be looking for someone else. But Madame Loisel introduced herself to her old friend, and Jeannie Forestier was shocked to see her in such a poor and changed look. Yes, I have had some hard days since I saw you, and some miserable ones, and all because of you. Because of me? How is that? You recall the diamond necklace that you loaned me to wear to the minister's ball? Yes, very well. Well, I lost it. How is that? Since you returned it to me, I returned another to you exactly like that, and it was taken us 10 years to repay it. Recall means bring back into one's mind. Remember. Loaned means lent. She then replied that she did have some hard days since they last met. She said that life had been miserable and it was all because of Madame Forestier. Then Madame Forestier asked how was she responsible for her bad days, to which Matilda replied that she had lost Forestier's necklace to this Madame. You can understand that it was not easy for us who have nothing, but it is finished and I am decently content. Madame Forestier stopped short. She said, "You say that you bought a diamond necklace to replace mine." "Yes." "You did not perceive it then? They were just alike." And she smiled with proud and simple joy. Madame Forestier was touched and took both her hands as she replied, "Oh, my poor Matilda, mine were false. They were not worth over 500 francs. Decently means in a way that conforms with generally accepted standard of respectable or moral behavior. Content means in a state of peaceful happiness. Matilda said that she had lost Forestier's necklace. To this, Madame Forestier replied that it was not possible because she had returned it to her. Matilda replied that she had bought a similar necklace and they had been paying the debt for the last 10 years. She also said that they were not that rich to afford such an expensive necklace. Matilda added that their debts was now over and that she was satisfied with whatever she had. Jeannie was surprised and asked Matilda if she bought a diamond necklace just to replace her lost necklace, to which she replied yes. Madame Forestier was touched. While holding her in her arms, she said that the necklace which she had borrowed from Madame Forestier was a fake necklace and that it was not worth more than 500 francs. This is all students. There is a moral lesson. We should be contented whatever we have and we should not live a false life, otherwise we have to pay for it sometime. Thank you for watching the video.